SEC Saturdays start in Nashville, Tennessee. Vanderbilt and Hawaii for the second consecutive year facing each other to open the season on a beautiful Saturday night. The heat and the humidity is gone, and it's time to kick off the SEC season here on the west end of Nashville. With Matt Stinchcomb, College Football Hall of Famer, I'm Taylor Zarzer. Alyssa Lang's on the field. You'll see her in just a second. Clark Lee is going into his third season now at his alma mater, Stinch, and we have seen significant progress. 2 wins in year one, 5 wins last year. The goal now, have a winning program.
And he can do it. They narrowly did it, missed it a season ago when they started out of the gates really fast. Won 3 of their first 4, lost a couple of close games, but they're able to close out the schedule relatively strong with back-to-back conference wins. They want to start this season fast, just like they did a season ago, all the way out in Hawaii. They host the Rainbow Warriors here tonight. See if they can replicate that performance.
Clark Lee is standing by with Alyssa Lang.
Coach, the guys were just talking about the improvement from year 1 to year 2. What has to happen tonight to start that improvement in year 3?
Well, we have to be a mature team. I mean, the weather delay, that's disruption of process. Obviously, game 1 in college football, there's not, this is our first real test against someone else. So we got to be a mature team. We got to actualize the progress. Hawaii's not going to make it easy. And, I believe in the guys, but we got to go make it happen now.
What'd your team do during the weather delay?
We stayed, engaged. They really just hung out. There was some recovery and some, like mobility circuits and stuff like that. But on the whole, they're ready to be out here and play. Now it's, again, about the details and performance. So, it should be a great game.
Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And this all of the things that Stinch was just talking about. Better points per game, more yards per game. They got more sacks last year. They got those 2 SEC wins, beating Kentucky and Lexington, beating Florida here at home for the first time in 35 years. They beat the brakes off Hawaii last year in Timmy Chang's first game as the head coach at his alma mater. But Stinch, now he's running his old run-and-shoot offense, which he wasn't doing when they played this time last year.
Yeah, it was almost an acclimation period, really. Timmy Chang, a familiar face to the program, but not familiar with that roster, a new coaching staff that was assembled. They had to feel each other out, and you could see that offense starting to spool up as the season unfolded. They didn't score any points through the air in their first 4 games, but towards the back end of the season, they became more explosive in that element of their offense. They want to be able to build on how they finished last season starting here tonight.
Well, it's a beautiful night on the west end of Nashville as Will Ferris, the kickoff specialist for the Doors, gets ready to kick it deep to Hawaii's Cam Stone. We've waited almost 8+ months to get back to having college football in the Southeastern Conference. Of course, Georgia wins its 2nd consecutive national championship. And the season starts on a Saturday night in Nashville. They are having a little bit of a clock issue here. They need to get some time on that clock. And we're going to be talking a lot about the clock tonight, Stinch, because the clock is going to keep moving for the first time in college football history after a first down until there's under 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, a little bit of an adjustment. Now we've got almost an hour here in the first quarter. I think they'll have to make an amendment there, obviously. A lot of eyes on those clocks for the past couple hours as the kickoff was delayed. But as you pointed out, an amendment to the rules. Interesting to see how that limits possessions here in this contest.
This game was supposed to kick off at 6:30 Central Time. Instead, just after 8:11 in Nash Vegas. Good crowd on hand on both sides, on the Hawaii and the Vandy bench. And Ferris starts the SEC season, and Stone will field it at the 7. And Cam gets some daylight and takes it past the 25-yard line. And that's where Timmy Chang's run-and-shoot offense will start, with Braden Shager, the junior from Dallas, Texas, He's made 13 career starts, including 10 last year, and really came on strong once Chang implemented that run and shoot.
Yeah, and Coach Chang talked about how he likes the way Shager sees the offense after the snap. There's a lot of reading as to where the receiver is going to go, what route they're ultimately going to be running. It takes time to not only get into that rhythm, but to build that chemistry. Coach Chang was pleased with his development a season ago.
Empty backfield on Hawaii's first play of the 2023 season. Schrager surveys the field and gets it out to the 31-yard line to Grayson Morgan. That's his tight end, the junior from Kingswood, Texas. And now some of you aficionados of the game may say, now hold on a second. I didn't think a tight end was in the run and shoot offense. Well, Timmy Chang says, I got a few little gadgets that maybe aren't traditional run and shoot like a tight end, and this, playing with tempo. It's 2nd and 6, and it's Tylen Hines, the running back, who gets tripped up. It's a tackle for loss as he's wrapped up immediately by Aeneas DeCosmo, the Stanford transfer. His first game as a Vanderbilt Commodore. It's a loss of 4.
Well, they're high on DeCosmo. They like his pass rush trait right there. Great job getting upfield quickly, forcing Hines to have to bubble his run. Couldn't attack the line of scrimmage right away.
They are without Darren Agu on the other side of the line tonight, but DeCosmo is one of the guys that Clark Lee expects to get home on that front. It's 3rd and 10. And Shager will get out of the pocket and try to get to the first down, but he's caught by Savion Riley before he gets the first down. It's 4th down.
Well, a nice rush that time from Nate Clifton. They ran another twist up front. So early on, Vanderbilt aggressive in their pressure package. They opened up the game versus an empty set. They kind of bluffed the pressure right up front and then alternated. The linebacker that was off the line came. That time Clifton able to get home and move Shager out of the pocket.
And it will be Matthew Shipley, the punter and the kicker, to kick it deep to Will Shepard. And that's a high snap. Shipley does a good job to get it, but it's partially blocked and goes into the stands. The high snap by Solomon Landrum created a little bit of adversity for Shipley. And that is where they'll mark the ball at the 32-yard line. That is a punt of 0 yards.
When you look at the high snap, alter the timing of everything, and then it looked like Langston Patterson got in there, had to rush it even more. And we just kept walking up. The head linesman, you see that high snap, that's just a great job of fielding that ball. Yeah, it was a net 0 punt.
That's just a shank. Yeah, Patterson, as you said, was in there, but Shipley just off the side of his foot. Now A.J. Swan on his first play of the year. It's a slant pattern, and Shepard was the intended target, but Swan led him too far. A.J. made 6 starts last year as a true freshman. You see those numbers, 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Least amount of interceptions by a true freshman quarterback of anyone last year that had at least 200 attempts. But the accuracy numbers are a bit low, Stinch, for a guy that didn't turn it over that much.
You look at just shy of 60%, that 58% clip. And you have to think that that passing game is going to have to step up with so many new faces in the backfield to run the ball.
This is Patrick Cheeks Smith, who's now the first-string tailback for Vandy, and he gets up to the 31. We talk about Swan. Of course, Mike Wright started the other 6 games. He got a couple of big wins for Vandy last year. He transferred to Mississippi State, and Ray Davis was the top tailback for Vandy last year. He's now with Kentucky.
So much of the rushing production that left this Vanderbilt offense that was key in their 5 victories, including this one, over 400 yards on the ground in their opener versus Hawaii.
They also have a brand new kicker. Joe Bolovis graduated, so this could be 4-down territory from the 31-yard line. Swan throws, quick pass to Skinner, and Skinner breaks the tackle, and he will get the first down right at the marker. The extra effort by the junior from Pompano Beach, Florida, who was a game-time decision with a hamstring tonight, Stinch, on the field getting the first.
Yeah, had it back in there to protect that time. Nice protection and a clean pocket. That ball hung just for a second. Great job by Skinner with the second effort. Got it, as you mentioned, it's a little bit nicked up coming into this game.
Went through the full warm-ups, and Clark Lee said, let's do it. Now Smith, they hand it to him. He gets daylight. Touchdown! Patrick Smith, 21 yards, broke the tackle, and Vandy strikes first. A little wrinkle on the first extra point of the season. They go for 2, and it's not going to be converted as Dante Kelly, actually it's Matthew Hayball, the punter, who's also the holder, takes that snap and does not get in, so it's 6-0 Vanderbilt after the Patrick Smith touchdown run. Anchor down on the west end of Nashville.
Long weekends are for you time. You installing, you painting, you organizing, you washing, and you saving. Do Labor Day your way by shopping at the Home Depot.
Okay, again, this is a status bar, this is a search bar. Let's know the difference, okay? Social media. It can be overwhelming for a young homeowner turning into their parents.
Now, what does it mean to slide into someone's DMs? That sounds like a lot of fun.
Okay, we're not ready for that. As a team, we'll get there. It might be a fruit emoji, but that doesn't mean they're talking about fruit.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto with us.
Okay, do you really think we need 47 photos of fun dinner at Pam's?
Yes.
No.
SEC Saturday Night is presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet, connecting homes across the SEC.
Both of these guys played at their respective alma maters. Clark Lee, a fullback for the Doors. Timmy Chang, an all-world record-breaking quarterback for Hawaii. Trivia question, Stench. How many total head coaches are coaching in 2023 at their alma mater at the FBS level?
The FBS level?
Yes.
The FBS level. 18 of them.
Ooh, good guess. 17 is the answer.
That was a good guess. I wasn't a guess. That was an informed guess.
So now we go to the 25-yard line, and that's where Timmy Chang's team will start. There's, of course, a notable alum at his alma mater. Kirby Smart's won the last 2 national championships at his. A lot of expectations each year for Jim Harbaugh, including this year.
And a couple of them this game. Next week in that Aflac Kickoff Bowl down in Atlanta. You got Brent Key at Georgia Tech taking on Brian Brom at Louisville. A lot of guys. A lot of former quarterbacks. You got a fullback and a quarterback tonight.
A good throw by Shager, and he gets right to Chucky Hines, and Hines makes the catch on the sideline at the 35-yard line. Clock will stop with 11:21 to go here in the first quarter as Tyson Russell pushes him out, and now it keeps running again, as they evidently said he was pushed out, and that's because that rule has been changed this year. Hines gets up to the 41-yard line, and it'll be a pickup of 6 yards. You're not going to see the clock stop and the chain gang get reset anymore, which probably means you're going to see about 5 or 6 less plays offensively per game. Clark Lee loves that because he's a time of possession guy.
He's a big point limitation guy as well. And you think about the more offensive-oriented teams could limit possessions and obviously plays.
Shager's got all kinds of time. Gets out of the backfield, wide open is his tight end, and it's Grayson Morgan who makes the catch. Indoors territory down at the 39, so 20-yard pickup for the junior from Texas.
A couple of nice plays back-to-back by Grayson Morgan. That time just in the scramble drill, able to find his quarterback's eyes, give him a target downfield. Langston Patterson in coverage there. It's back-to-back plays by Grayson Morgan. Really nice. The previous one, great job sealing the backside on that divide zone run, and then proving to be a threat downfield in the passing game.
Shager loving this run and shoot offense that Timmy Chang ran to perfection when he was quarterbacking Hawaii 20 years ago. Shager, quick throw, but there's a whistle. A timeout, I believe, called by Hawaii before that play clock ran out. There's our referee tonight, Cal McNeil.
Timeout, Hawaii. That's their first timeout of the half.
Timmy Chang's Hawaii team down 6-0, but on the march on offense.
Okay, again, this is a status bar, this is a search bar. Let's know the difference, okay? Social media. It can be overwhelming for a young homeowner turning into their parents.
Now, what does it mean to slide into someone's DMs? That sounds like a lot of fun.
Okay, we're not ready for that. As a team, we'll get there. It might be a fruit emoji, but that doesn't mean they're talking about fruit.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto with us.
Okay, do you really think we need 47 photos of fun dinner at Pam's?
Yes.
No.
Long weekends are for you time. You installing, you painting, you organizing, you washing, and you saving. Do Labor Day your way by shopping at the Home Depot.
SEC Saturday Night Football presented by T-Mobile 5G home internet. You see the construction. Certainly if you visit Music City this year, you'll take notice of the United projects that include enhancements in the north and south end zones here at First Bank Stadium, an integral part of Vanderbilt's recently launched $3.2 billion Dare to Grow campaign, which is the largest in the university's 150-year history. Vandy's United's next phase looks to build on its foundation with more facilities and operational enhancements. And that is terrific news for anyone that supports this football program. You're seeing progress on the field with Clark Lee. Some would say finally, you're seeing progress off of the field as well.
It's definitely a major undertaking. Won't just impact football either. Multiple sports that'll benefit from the expansion.
This is Tylen Hines running right at that Vandy defense and pushing the pile with his Rainbow Warrior offensive lineman. He gets down to the 35-yard line. Hines, a sophomore from Mount Pleasant, Texas. He was terrific. Yeah, last year he averaged 7.6 yards a carry. This is fabulous numbers, and that's what you want in a run and shoot offense.
Definitely an efficient runner. And that time running behind big Solu Vaipulu, one of the most tenured former offensive linemen. He's wearing number 0 at times in there as a lead blocker.
It's Hines there with Shager now. Again, great protection and wide open out the backfield comes Pafele Ashlock. He snuck out for 22 yards, and he's down to the Vanderbilt 13.
You see that? So we talk about run and shoot. This is more air raid, so it's a mesh concept. He just comes all the way across, and they got confused at the second level at linebacker.
And now Hines is wrapped up right at where the ball was snapped at the 14-yard line by Bradley Mann. It'll be second down.
Red zone possessions for Hawaii. They didn't have a ton of them a season ago. Only 39 attempts inside their opponent's 20-yard line. Obviously, the field becomes compressed. On that first possession, Vanderbilt did a much better job of pressuring the quarterback. This time, he's had opportunity, has Shager.
On 2nd and 11, Shager again escapes the pressure against his body, throws complete. And making the twist is Ashlock. Pofele is a redshirt freshman from Euless, Texas, and he didn't have a catch for this team last year. He's already has 2 big ones on this drive.
Well, they needed to replace a lot of the production there out wide. Pinoque being among the more prolific producers for them at receiver. And coming in this game, they knew they were going to have some guys step up. Ashlock being one of them and figuring prominently here in the back end of this series as they get in this scoring position.
3rd and 10 for Shager and his Hawaii offense. Vaipulu next to him. Here comes Vandy, throw, and it's over the head of Chucky Hines, but here comes a flag. See if they get the Vandy cornerback here for pass interference.
pass interference, number 4, defense. Bobby places final foul, first down.
Well, I believe he means number 8, Tyson Russell. Yep.
Had his both arms around his waist. Made it pretty easy for the flag to come out. You can see Vanderbilt heating them up. As you mentioned, brought pressure. And Shager able to deliver it and get a fresh set of downs inside the 5-yard line. Now you see 2 tight end set, 2 tight end formation.
Now movement.
And big Josh Atkins. It happens a lot. You get down there, heavy formation, you're thinking run. Start to the snap. Ball start, number 54, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So that backs up Hawaii to the Vanderbilt 9-yard line. They're on their second offensive possession. They lost 63-10 to this Vanderbilt team last year. They did score a touchdown in the first quarter and then went stone cold the rest of the game, only getting 3 points. But this is a new Hawaii offense. It's expected to put up much better numbers in the passing game in 2023. Shager fakes to Hines, stands there, throws to the end zone. Touchdown, Stephen McBride. Well, you said it, Stinch. There are going to have to be newcomers for Hawaii that step up, and the Kansas transfer Stephen McBride does just that with a tough catch in the end zone.
And you think how Hawaii got down there, really attacking underneath coverage. Linebackers in coverage. The scramble drill was huge. Able to get the ball downfield to Grayson Morgan, and finally able to cap it off, stabbing one in there to potentially knot this thing up early.
And Shipley gets Hawaii the lead, 7-6. Braden Shager, the junior from Dallas, Texas, sure was efficient on that drive. Marches Hawaii all the way down, culminating with a touchdown and the lead.
Yeah, everything's taken care of. Hey, Jamie. Oh, what am I up to? Just visiting a special secret client. I can't say who it is, but let's just say she bundled her dream house and her dream car for round-the-clock protection with Progressive. Oh. She has another house in Malibu. She's been an astronaut, an architect, a CEO.
We're in front of her house, dude.
Well, I'd love to tell you who her boyfriend is, but I don't think I can. I'd love to tell you, but I don't think I can.
Marty, in theaters now.
Long weekends are for you time. You installing, you painting, you organizing, you washing, and you saving. Do Labor Day your way by shopping at the Home Depot.
It's hard to believe that a program that is so rich with passing traditions would have a graphic like this, but that was the truth last year. Team went 3-10, but Timmy Chang, once he installed that run and shoot offense, they started throwing touchdowns and they started competing in every single game. And his quarterback tonight, Braden Shager, 6 of 6 so far passing in the game. He was 5 of 5 on that touchdown drive.
Pretty sporty, right? And it hasn't always been a clean pocket to work from. And he's done a good job of keeping plays alive, keeping his eyes downfield.
Falk kicks it, and McGowan, one of the fastest men in the SEC, receives it at the 3. And here comes the sophomore, Jaden McGowan. Watch out! 97 yards. One of the best true freshmen in the SEC last year. Gives you his first glimpse as a sophomore, taking it to the house on a kick return. That's Vandy's first kick return for a touchdown Stinch in 9 years.
You think about what they were able to do last year. A couple of defensive touchdowns in this game, and now a special teams touchdown in the following year's contest. Vanderbilt wanted to be more explosive. They had a short field on offense. They did a great job on defense, and then special teams takes it all the way back. You talk about McGowan being fast.
Well, the offense is coming out to go for 2 to try to get to 14 points. Coach Lee's team already chasing them this early in the game. Swan will throw, and it's a conversion for 2 to Quincy Skinner Jr. First, the kick return cinch.
Now, we sat through a couple of lightning delays. We saw a lightning strike after the game started. Well, McGowan, and everybody knew it coming into this season. He was going to have to be a big playmaker for Vanderbilt. And already we saw it here, not just on offense. As a return man, he is lethal. Picked up some nice blocks up front. Watch Brian Longwell right here. Wisely lets up. And McGowan gets it all the way home.
Then the offense does get to play some. Skinner, nice job redirecting, catching that 2-pointer.
Yeah, he kind of slipped on that whip route. Still able to regain his footing. Swan put it right on him.
McGowan runs a 10.6 100-meter dash, a 21.6 200-meter dash. You saw him show off the speed there. Cam Stone, it's your turn. And he gets to the 30. Well, here's our next college football game right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Thursday night at 8 Eastern, Eli Drinkwitz and the Mizzou Tigers host South Dakota at Faurot Field in Columbia. Quarterback Grady Cook leads the Tiger offense, and last year's stifling D returns plenty of playmakers and could be even better. Coverage begins with SEC Nation at 7 Eastern. I think everybody's trying to figure out who's your trendy sleeper SEC East pick behind Georgia. Let me make that clear. I think just about everybody would pick Georgia to win the SEC East again. But in the last year of divisions, maybe the Mizzou Tigers sneak up into that number 2 or 3 spot. Tylen Hines gets a few. You got a SEC East sleeper for me?
I don't know how much of a sleeper it is given the season that they had a year ago, but Tennessee with Joe Milton back, I do think that there's an opportunity there. Now, they've got holes to fill, there's no question, especially at receiver. But that offense is a fun one to watch. Can be dangerous the way they pile up points.
You know, there is another Columbia, Alyssa.
This is true. I was going to say my sleeper is in Lexington, Kentucky, if we're being honest. One of the best quarterbacks out of the portal this year.
Shager throws up to the 36-yard line to Stephen McBride. Yet Devin Leary came over from NC State, now the quarterback of the Wildcats.
And Liam Cohen in his second tenure, tour of duty there in Kentucky after heading back to the Rams for a brief sabbatical, is back. Did a great job with the transfer in Will Levis's last go-round. A big third down here. We saw Hawaii, they were stymied on their opening possession on third down. You see here late, Vanderbilt's trying to substitute late. Savion Riley, a lot of confusion. Here comes a timeout from the Commodore sideline.
Timeout, Vanderbilt. Their first timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
So Clark Lee and Nick Howell as defense coordinator will talk about things as Coach Lee goes into his 3rd year. And this guy is all about motivation. It's all about philosophy. He's a copious reader. Takes a tremendous amount of information from what he reads on a daily basis. He's about this big-time brotherhood that he has, and while he's very wise beyond his years, my favorite thing he said to us yesterday, when outsiders celebrate Vandy going 5-7, it's patronizing. It's time for us to have a winning program and for people to take us seriously instead of saying, oh, it's nice, Vandy, you went 5-7. And he certainly believes that his program's on the right track. He says this team is significantly more talented and bought in to what they're doing. He says he has coaches on the field. Let's see if that's the case on this 3rd and 5. Shager's facing pressure, and he can't get out of there. Clark Lee brought the house. Aeneas DeCosmo and Braden Baxter in there. 4th down.
Well, we've seen a lot of activity up front, and they've done a great job of kind of piercing the interior of the pass protection. So watch right here. It's going to end up stunning right here. You're going to see him go wide, and Devin Lee working outside. Ends up Linus Zunk coming inside. Devin Lee was the one that caused that pressure.
Another whistle.
Prior to the snap, ball start, number 16, kicking team. 5-yard penalty remain, 4th down.
I want to give a shout out to Linus Zunk because that's one of the guys. That's the guy you just highlighted, number 95, the sophomore from Berlin, Germany. The Vanderbilt defense has a couple of Germans and an English defensive lineman. Darren Agu from England is not out there tonight, but the Germans are. Issa Wataha and Linus Zunk. That bounces in front of the punt returner, Will Shepard, and it takes a Hawaii bounce down to the 16-yard line. Better punt that time by Shipley. It's 55 yards. You could argue, Stinch, if you're making a list of the best tandem receivers in the SEC, that Will Shepard and Jaden McGowan are right there at the top of the SEC.
There's no argument there. I mean, you could see both of these guys, they complement one another. You know, Jaden McGowan, a guy that you can do multiple things with offensively with his speed, and Will Shepard, because of his size and body control, can get all the 50-50 balls you want, especially along the boundary. Did a great job of that a season ago.
Caught 2 touchdowns in this game last year out of the backfield. Swing it out to Chase Gillespie. Gillespie's banging into Rainbow Warriors. First down, Vanderbilt. Well, we haven't called Shepard's name yet, Alyssa, but that guy's expected to be a star this year.
Yeah, you can't talk about that wide receiver room, guys, without talking about Will Shepard. And chatting with A.J. Swan this week, he just raves about Will, not only because he's one of the best wide receivers in the league, but also from a leadership standpoint. He says it means so much to the young guys to watch someone like Will Shepard stick around and have so much confidence in the direction this program is heading. He also added that this receiver room might be the hardest working on the team.
Again, a fake to Gillespie, and they swing it out to him again out of the backfield, and he gets a few as he's tackled by Mekhi Pay.
They're trying to get a shot downfield off a play action. You know, back-to-back plays, effectively the same play, and end up having to check it, swinging it out there to Chase Gillespie, but they're trying to see if they can get Hawaii leaning downhill off of that heavy play action. You're pulling your backside guard and Xavier Castillo, and instead we ended up having to dump it down. We're able to get the first down on the previous attempt.
Chase is out. Cheeks back in. Swan drifts back, tried to get it out to his tight end Kyle with a flag down.
Holding, number 18, defense. 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
It would be Noah Kemma.
And they ran a heavy play action look again. And you can see it. It's like a divide zone. Everybody was blocking to the left, and they tried to kind of leak on the backside. Instead, they end up getting that holding call on Kemma.
Swan has new life at his own 43-yard line. And this is a good ball, and that's the first time tonight we call Will Shepard's name. And one of the best receivers in the SEC is down to the Hawaii 41. It's a pickup of 16.
An interesting play design. The offensive line kind of parts. They run zone to the right. And that pressure right in his face. Did A.J. Swan was able to just spit that ball out quickly. They tried to target Shepard on that opening play, and they were able to get it back to him.
It's preseason second team All-SEC. Stingy finished second in touchdown receptions in the league with 9. Of course, Jalen Hyatt of Tennessee at 15, but he's in the pros now with the Giants. Swan will throw the deep ball, and it's over the head of his intended target, but he was grabbed by Pay. That's Logan Kyle again. That was the intended target. Already the 4th flag on Hawaii.
Pass interference, number 7, defense. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic, first down.
Playing on the road, one of the things you got to do is play cleanly. You see right here, it's a slot fade. You just start right upfield and a go ball on the outside. See that hand just reaching out, grabbing the inside shoulder. Easy call for the officials. Only seen a couple. Had a PI earlier versus Vanderbilt. A holding penalty came in handy for Vandy offensively on this drive, and now a PI.
Gillespie's back into the game. He's running the football for the first time, and he gets inside the 25 down to the 24-yard line where Kemma makes the tackle. This Vandy offense 2 years ago was one of the worst in college football, but significant progress for offensive coordinator Joey Lynch last year. They were the least penalized team in the SEC. They averaged over 24 points per game, which was 8 more than the season before. They went wild on the islands with 63 points against Hawaii. Looking for more here with a 14-7 lead in this prime time week 0 matchup in Nashville.
Look at this box. Only 4 potential rushers.
Swan gets it out, and he goes underneath down to the 19-yard line to Justin Ball. One of 4 Vandy receivers that we could see tonight. Of course, none of them will be Cole Spence. He tore his ACL in the summer. If there's a significant loss for this Vandy team, he's probably it.
Yeah, you talk about some of that limitations, but doing a good job of mixing things up, especially early. They open up this drive with a lot of heavy play action. It's a big inside. It's a stretch zone team. We've seen a counter O. That time, they're able to mix things up a couple times, get a handoff up inside, and keep the defense off balance.
On the 3rd down, Gillespie's going to run for the first inside the 15.
Offensive coordinator Joey Lynch working his magic a little bit personnel-wise. Empty looks as well. And a season ago, only 35 trips to the red zone for Vanderbilt. But you can see the leap up in touchdowns, and that's the key more than anything else. You get in scoring position, yes, you want points, but more than anything, you want to come away with scores, with touchdowns. This has been a methodical possession. Their 5th first down now.
Just the way Clark Lee likes it. And it's Gillespie getting free inside the 10 and wrapped up down to the 7 on what could be the last play of the first quarter. Vandy possessed the football for over 32 minutes a game last year, and certainly Clark Lee would love the same in 2023 as his team carries a 14-7 lead as we head to the second quarter. It's week 0 in Nashville, Tennessee. A bit delayed, but we're here for 2023 SEC Saturday night.
Vanderbilt with a 14-7 lead over Hawaii, here with Hawaii head coach Timmy Chang. Coach, you were just over with your quarterbacks. What were you coaching up Braden Shager about?
Yeah, we're getting some different looks and just talking about game planning and what we're going to call the next series. And so just getting into a rhythm again, little offbeat, we take sacks or get behind chains a little bit. So we're just trying to get in front.
You talk about how you want your guys to out-intelligent the other team. What do you see defensively that needs to adjust?
Yeah, we just got to tackle, right? Got to tackle. We got to be in the right positions, be in our gaps and stuff. And so settle down a little bit. Don't keep hurting ourselves, but just do the basics, do their job.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
He wants his defense, Alyssa, to get off the field here and maybe hold Vanderbilt to a field goal. It's a 2nd and 4 as Vanderbilt will start the second quarter from the Hawaii 7-yard line. Nice drive by A.J. Swan and the Vanderbilt Commodores after Jaden McGowan had a 97-yard kick return for a touchdown to start the scoring for Vanderbilt. Swan has Chase Gillespie next to him. Fakes to him, throws over the top, wide open, touchdown, Will Shepherd.
Well, we talked about Will Shepherd being one of the best receivers in the conference on contested throws. And he made that one look easy. Way too easy access right there on the goal line effectively. And that's pitch and catch.
I mean, the guy has 5 catches in the last 2 years against Hawaii, and 3 of them are for touchdowns, including this one.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty efficient, right? You see that little bit of confusion in the back end. C.J. Williams for Hawaii, see him. He was clearly expecting help inside out. Instead, Shepherd, he could have walked into the end zone. Wide open, making it very easy for Vanderbilt to cap off that drive. Saw some nice runs, counter schemes a couple of different times, and because of that, you're showing your opponent a lot of different play action looks that you can throw some of these balls downfield on. You can definitely keep your defense of your opponent a little bit on their heels. And already Vanderbilt has been able to leverage not just the run game, but now the passing game to get into the end zone.
8 plays, 84 yards you see there, and almost 5 minutes off the clock. Clark Lee has to like everything about that drive, including A.J. Swan's numbers. He was 5 for 5. Kickoff specialist Will Ferris. After Jacob Borchilla just made his first ever extra point. And received by 5 at the 5 by Cam Stone. Stone gets out of there and gets past the 30-yard line. Hey, our first SEC Nation of the season is Thursday at 7 Eastern right here on SEC Network and the ESPN app, leading into the South Dakota-Mizzou game in Columbia. The crew is back with a 1-hour pregame show with the latest around the SEC and to get you ready for the Tigers and the Coyotes on a Thursday night from Como.
You know, Missouri's got to figure out what they're going to do at quarterback. You know, they've kind of kept it close to the vest throughout camp, heading into their opener. A couple of different candidates. Sam Horn, Brady Cook perhaps being the starter.
Shager back to work. He's perfect tonight. 7 of 7 to number 7, Steve McBride. And that's a first down in the Vanderbilt bench near midfield.
Able to spin out of the tackle of the heralded true freshman Martel Hyde. He's trying to come up and make the tackle, and literally a great job by Stephen McBride. Ran out of his own shoe as he pivoted out of that run.
If there's one area that Vanderbilt wants to improve defensively more than any other, it's their cornerbacks, especially with their tackling stench. That was a big issue last year as Landon Sims gets a couple. There's your safety, C.J. Taylor. He's terrific at tackling.
So active. You know, the top returning tackler for Vanderbilt, big playmaker in number 1, spends a lot of time. He will be down there around the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 8, Shager's facing pressure, gets out of there, and incomplete. Threw it wildly to McBride. That's his first incompletion tonight. Forced by the pressure that was applied by Bradley Mann.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of activity today, especially up the middle. Watch the interior of the Vandy front. Bradley Mann just wins right now. You're demanding a double team to the opposite side. The center tries to help. Instead, Bradley Mann ends up one-on-one, wins right now to the outside. You know, one of the things that Vanderbilt has a distinct advantage in this game is length, especially along the lines of scrimmage, and it's shown up so far in their pass rush.
Hawaii wants to talk about it before a 3rd and 8 down 14 in the second quarter.
Can't sleep.
Just a lot on my mind.
I can't sleep either.
It only gets tougher with age.
Mom, what?
Well, knowing Progressive can protect your home, auto, and business should help you relax.
Good, because I could use a good night's sleep.
Me too. You know how early a chimney sweep gets up every day?
Wait, Is this all a dream?
Why would Jamie be in my dream?
I am America's biggest spokesperson.
Debatable.
I said biggest.
Well, he's got you there.
Nice footwork.
Man, you're lucky. Watching live sports never used to be this easy. Now you can stream all your games like it's nothing.
Yes! That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, here he comes.
Running up and down that field looks tough.
It's a pitch.
Get way more into what you're into when you stream on the Xfinity 10G network.
Just after 9 o'clock Central Time in Nashville, Tennessee. Just after 4 o'clock back on Oahu. Timmy Chang says he wants to bring the Hawaiian identity back to late night football as he plays Clark Lee and Vanderbilt. Hawaii's got a 3rd and 8 here with this run and shoot offense that Braden Shager is showing us. And he has 5 different targets to choose from. Low snap, and Shager flushed out, throws. It's short of the first down, but complete to the 45 to his tight end, Grayson Morgan. And will Timmy Chang keep Shager on the field? Yes, he will.
Yes, he will. You know, Vanderbilt, Coach Chang was talking about earlier, is giving them multiple looks, especially in their front, some of their pressure packages. That time they had both interior defensive linemen to one side. Similar here again in their alignment.
We're going to see if, in fact, Morgan caught this ball, which could determine whether or not Chang does decide to go for this.
Yeah, it's been interesting what Vanderbilt's been doing, especially on these 3rd and obvious downs in passing scenarios. They'll have 3 big bodies in that defensive front. And then they're bringing C.J. Taylor and others up to create the pressure. Let's see if he comes up with this catch. Can't tell from that angle.
Certainly doesn't look like there's anything that would overturn it from those 2 angles. Cal McNeil's the referee that's looking into the monitor. He's talking to the replay official, James Bain.
Well, what might have been the definitive look from this angle is obscured by the official's hat inadvertently.
The ruling of the catch on the field is confirmed. First down.
Yeah. I realize all
Correction,
plays.
4th down.
I realize all plays are different, but great job, Cal, James, on being so quick there.
That's right.
And getting us back to play.
He was in there getting loose during those lightning delays. He was ready to go.
Getting some reps.
Lined up and in the starter blocks for that first review.
Timmy Chang, you see it. They went for it 34 times last year and converted nearly 53% of them. Shager's got to get his team past the 41-yard line of Vanderbilt. He's going to throw the deep ball down there. Touchdown to Stephen McBride. Forget the first down, the home run ball, 45 yards.
How's that for an explosive play? Nice protection. Clean pocket, tried to bring pressure right up the middle. And McBride able to beat the coverage of B.J. Anderson. And a beautiful ball from Braden Shager.
And Shipley makes it 21-14. You said it. It was a beautiful ball as McBride throws his first career touchdown. 13 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter, and Hawaii strikes back on the touchdown ball from Shager to McBride.
so many in Hawaii after the wildfires tore through Maui and the area of Lahaina. Wide receiver Carson Papunu on this Hawaii roster is from Lahaina. He got the news during the last week of fall camp that there had been a fire. He said he didn't think much of it. Fires are not abnormal there, but the next day when he couldn't get in contact with his family because cell signal was down, he started to worry. That's when he started to hear that so much of Lahaina had been wiped out. He finally made contact with his brother, who is a police officer, lives on the other side of the island. He went to Lahaina that night to help evacuate people from their homes, describing to Carson that it was like a movie scene. People running from their houses right as the fire engulfed it. Carson soon found out that he tragically lost 2 of his cousins, his aunt, and his uncle. He got to go back for a few days in the middle of fall camp. He said it was mind-blowing. The place I grew up, totally different. There's nothing left. At the same time, he said it was nice to see the community come together from all the islands to help, because that's how it is here. That's how it's always been. He said he saw friends who lost their entire home and came to the realization that the best thing he can do now is honor them, whether it's playing football or in whatever he does. Putting on the pads helps him express himself. He wants to do this for Maui, for Lahaina, and for everyone who was affected, guys.
It's a fabulous job reporting that story, Alyssa, as it swung out to Jaden McGowan, and McGowan is going to lose yardage there as Tufonga makes the tackle. Our hearts are with the Papunu family and certainly everyone affected in Maui, Alyssa.
Yeah, and I asked Carson, what can we do from this side of the world to help him? He said a sense of voice is important now, making sure that when Lahaina is rebuilt, it doesn't change. The people get their homes back. It was such a historic town. He said it should stay that way.
It is paradise for millions of us that have been on Front Street through the years and fallen in love with that land and its people. And we're certainly thinking of them with heavy hearts as we watch this game. Patrick Smith runs back to the 27-yard line. And just a reminder that you can help people affected by those wildfires. You can donate at redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond and help people recover. Your donation enables the Red Cross to prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from the disaster. And it will provide people and communities affected with food, water, emergency shelter, and relief supplies. And a reminder that ticket proceeds tonight in this game are going to Hawaii's Community Foundation's Maui Strong Fund. Clark Lee, the head coach at Vandy, had a lot to do with that. On a third down, he's watching his receiver break free, and Jaden McGowan makes a phenomenal catch. First down.
McGowan was singled up on that side of the formation, and they see him going quickly.
Man, they're trying to get the play off and get a flag thrown.
Did.
Prior to the play, false start. Everyone was not set for the snap. Offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
But you go back to the play. McGowan already with a 97-yard kick return, and now he shows off his stuff as a receiver.
He's able to just get behind the coverage of McKee Pay, and that ball dropped in just in time. The safety help, as you see C.J. Williams flying over the top.
32-yard completion, but then you give up 5 yards doing something you almost never do, going fast on offense.
And they definitely had what they wanted from Hawaii. Hawaii was out of sorts, but instead ended up with a procedure penalty and now a timeout.
Timeout Vanderbilt. Their second timeout of the half. 30 seconds in length.
We were talking about Clark Lee having so much to do with the ticket proceeds, or a portion of those proceeds tonight going to the Maui relief effort. Here is what he said. We're going to come together in the spirit of competition and honor the game we love. Hawaii is in our hearts. Maui is in our hearts. Timmy and his team are in our hearts. We know how sacred the land is. We learned that last year from them. We ache for the cost of human life and for what can't be undone to that land. I can tell you, being in that meeting yesterday with Timmy Chang, how much he's appreciated Clark and his support. He said that Clark has checked on him daily the last few weeks to see how his people are doing, and that means the world, I know, to all Hawaiians watching this game.
They're competitors on the field, colleagues, countrymen off the field.
McGowan in the backfield. Now he gets the football, shows off his speed. What can he do? Gets down to the 36-yard line. Offensive coordinator Joey Lynch last year, early in the season, said, we have found something in number 6.
Yeah, well, it's hard to miss it, that's for sure. Can't get him enough touches, and that time, as you mentioned, motioned into the backfield. Got a great block out wide by Richie Hoskins. Ends up being just almost like a toss, really. It's a sweep out there. You motion him in the backfield, get the ball out on the perimeter, and let your receivers block.
And 5 after a 9-yard pickup. Swan from a muddy pocket goes down, gets drilled back near the 45-yard line, and it was Isaiah Tufunga on a loss of 8. Transfer from Oregon State.
He just comes right up the middle, watch him. He's just going to beat Julian Hernandez. And Hernandez has got, look, locked up on him. He just gets caught with his weight over his toes. Tufunga does a great job of just working around on that edge. A little club rip to the edge of Hernandez, who sees that all the time from D lineman. He was well assigned, but just well executed by Tufunga.
After all the progress that McGowan made on the previous play, it's negated by that Tufunga sack. Back at the 45, Swan has to get rid of it, sidearms it, nice catch made at the 40, and Hoskins breaks. For 15 yards.
A huge cushion to throw at if the protection holds up long enough. Vanderbilt brought both their inside linebackers. Now Hawaii's offensive front's doing a much better job giving Shager enough time to deliver the ball downfield. They knew this. They came into this. Defensive coordinator Nick Howell talked about it. So if you give this guy time, he can pick you apart.
And he's showing it. He's 11 of 12 passing for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Shager gets rid of it quickly and then gets another ball out quickly for 9 to Ashlock.
The pressure is almost getting home. The problem is it's not getting there early enough. The cushion is so deep. When you look at the way they're playing off, you're conceding the first down yardage almost. You're worried about the big play. Obviously, they saw a lot of that a season ago. They know that a weakness is in their perimeter defense.
Chang says Shager never was rattled as they struggled at the beginning of last season. A tough kid, always comes ready to work each day, has found his quarterback. On this 2nd and 1, it's Landon Sims, and it looks like it's enough to move the chains. And Chang, here comes a flag in at the end of the play. Hawaii believes it's on Vanderbilt after the play.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 99, defense. 15 yards will be added to the end of the play, automatic first down. That is 99's first unsportsmanlike conduct of the game.
Devin Lee still pleading his case.
Yeah, walking with the official all the way to the new spot. See what he did here at the end. And watch number 99, kind of left side of your screen. See him here? I don't know. I didn't see much there.
I don't understand why he's pleading his case. Shager dumps it off, and it's caught by Pulu. He's inside the 10, the 5, to the goal line, but he fumbled. But it's covered by Hawaii in the end zone by Ashlock. You can't advance a fumble. So it looks like this would be down at the 1 as the officials are converging here.
Almost a big man touchdown. We talked about Pulu earlier.
The rule on the field is the ball was fumbled in the field play in the end zone, recovered by the offense, touchdown.
And they give it to him, so they say it was fumbled in the end zone. Let's watch this by Pulu. Yeah, I think they're going to review this one more time to see if Ashlock was in fact down at the 1.
That ball was definitely fumbled shy of the end zone, as is Ashlock.
The ruling of the fumble being recovered in the end zone is under further review.
Ricky Wright, the man that forced the fumble for Vanderbilt. Solo Vaipulu has been the backup center the last couple of years, and he still is listed as the backup center if anything were to happen to the starter. But until that happens, he's the fullback / tailback, and now he's catching passes.
We've seen him in there in pass protection. He's done a good job with some of the run blocking looks. And they're able to just kind of hide him in that previous look. Late screen, they just kind of slip it out there to the big guy. He did a good job of evading tacklers. Wasn't just running down there, using his size. And then, of course, there towards the end showing maybe not the best ball security, but picked up by Ashlock, though it does look as if he was shy of the end zone. Regardless, what a drive here by the Hawaii offense to answer.
When Vaipulu first makes this catch, you're sort of thinking, wait a minute, is he an eligible receiver?
Right.
Yes, he is. He came from the backfield, and he's wearing number 0. He does have to change his jersey number to 52 if he lines up on the offensive line. And you can see why that was his first career catch.
After review, the ball was fumbled and recovered by the offense at the half-yard line. The ball be placed at the half-yard line, first and goal.
Clark Lee's still talking about the personal foul call on the play before that, asking what in the world was that.
Yeah, well, I mean, justifiably. That's a first down and a half on what looked to be relatively nothing. Regardless, it was called enforced. And now Hawaii with a chance to knock this ball in there and potentially tie this game up. Previous score on a fourth down, and now a tight end screen to your backup center.
Jalen Morris is on the field at quarterback. And Morris has Vaipulu standing next to him.
A couple extra linemen in there as well.
And a whistle.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 17, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
They call it on Grayson Morgan. So take a look. See him right here. Now you've got some extra offensive linemen on the left side. That looked like that was going to be the point of attack, but he flinched just a little bit. You just got to hold your water. That's a couple of times now where we've seen a procedure penalty.
So they take out the Wildcat quarterback Morris and they put Shager back into the game, and they also put Tylen Hines in next to him, now on a 1st and goal from the 6.
That's Stephen McBride at the bottom of your screen.
Shager looking to the top instead, pumps, throws to the back, and it's intercepted to Ricky Wright.
Running on the field, it's intercepted pass in the end zone. First down, Vanderbilt.
Wright had 3 of the team's 6 interceptions last year, and he gets a big one here and gets that left foot down. Right foot, excuse me.
What a play by Ricky Wright.
Remember, originally a touchdown was given to Hawaii, wiped off the board, and now Vandy has the football back.
Dari Noka, Roman Harper, we got halftime coming up in just a bit. Reigning Heisman Trophy winner is in action. Part of this week's Zero. We'll show you what's going on out west with Caleb Williams. Get you set for week 1 in the SEC. What do you make of Vandy to this point?
They better create more turnovers. This is going to be a 4-quarter game. Better watch out.
A little break earlier, guys. We'll see you in a few.
Yeah, got a big break with Ricky Wright getting that interception, Dar, just a minute ago. Cedric Alexander, the true freshman, that was his first carry in college. He loses a yard back to the 19-yard line. Braden Shager has looked outstanding so far tonight for Hawaii at quarterback until that last decision he made, which gave Vanderbilt new life in the football back. Swan's in trouble. Swan's getting wrestled down to the ground inside the 10 by Tufunga, who's been in the backfield a bunch.
So here he is right in the middle of the screen once again. They're going to get a puller on play action, but watch, Castillo's got to cover him up. Instead, Tufunga once again able to beat the protection. That's the 5th tackle for loss out of the last 8 plays by Vanderbilt. They're going backwards on offense.
And Tufunga's had a couple of them. It's now 3rd and 19. All the way back near their 10-yard line. This will be snapped from the 11. And another flag.
So they're going to get it for delay of game.
Prior to snap, delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, you play 3rd down.
Yeah, we saw
half the distance to go, 3rd down.
We saw earlier, Taylor, on what was a promising possession, undone, trying to go tempo twice. Go backwards, and now here the play clock just getting away from them. And despite the construction, they're still prominent right there in the end zones.
And another whistle. They're going to have to switch from helmets to hard hats if they keep going closer to that construction site.
They got Looks like they're going to get Gunnar Hansen for flinching. I think what Clark Lee is trying to, he may be trying to argue they're simulating the snap.
Number 55 offense. Half the distance to go. Remains 3rd down.
Let's go down to Alyssa.
Guys, I caught a little bit of what Clark Lee was saying to the official 2 snaps ago, just before that delay of game. He was saying there was an injured player on the field right when 77 was coming off the field, so I think he was frustrated about that.
Well, now his team has a 3rd and 27 from their own 3, just trying to get a few yards out of this. And you get it to the fastest man on the field, Jaden McGowan, and he gives Matthew Hayball some room to punt as he gets all the way back up past the 18.
Great job by Hawaii. They create those negative yardage plays, especially on early downs. And then Vanderbilt, that we talked about coming into this game, one of the things they've done a better job of, playing cleaner football. And now procedure penalties, sending them backwards.
And so it's Hayball to punt it. And it's Cam Stone will call for the fair catch at the 33-yard line. Well, this last drive for Hawaii on offense looked like it was going to culminate in a touchdown, but instead a fumble was ruled down at the 1. There's a false start on Hawaii, and then Shager with the ill-advised pass, and DeRicky Wright does an incredible job getting a foot down to get the pick. But now Hawaii back on the field on offense.
What an effort by DeRicky Wright. You force the fumble right there on the 1-yard line, and then you generate the pick. Great job in coverage, ill-advised throw from Shager, but the concerning part, if you're Vanderbilt, they move the football well.
And now it's Hines who will carry it. He's been a bit quiet. Just gets a yard there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, I hadn't really been able to get Hines going. The smaller in stature Warriors taking the field today offensively for Hawaii. Just 5'7", and we mentioned really efficient player. Linus Zunk, some of his defensive line mates, they've been pretty active on the inside out, especially the inside runs. There hasn't been a ton of rushing space.
Just 6 carries for 8 yards for Hines so far. Just over 3 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter with Vandy up 21-14, and Shager, as all kinds of time, throws a dart into traffic to his new favorite target, Stephen McBride. 1st down, Hawaii.
McBride just does a great job of settling down. Zone coverage. He stops just short underneath the coverage of Ethan Barr, who's right there. If he continues that route, he runs right into the coverage. Instead, shuts it down. Shager read that well. Felt McBride kind of sitting down, able to fit it in there.
5 catches, 66 yards, and 2 touchdowns already for McBride tonight. You see the games that are coming up next weekend. Tommy Hart, Cole Kubelik, and Jordan Rogers in Tuscaloosa next Saturday night. Shager's down on the ground as C.J. Taylor trips him up.
And that time, we had 3 down linemen, but Vanderbilt committing 6 to the line of scrimmage. And that time, C.J. Taylor triggering off the edge. A great job, because Shager was thinking, I'm going to pull this, see if I can't catch this defense leaning and sneak out the back door. Instead, Taylor with that shoestring tackle.
I think Shager's going over to the sideline to get a clean towel, dry those hands off on this hot, steamy Nashville night. The humidity has certainly picked up in the last hour.
A ton of rain, too, as they started this game.
On a 2nd and 13, Shager dumps it off to his tight end, who gets drilled. Morgan, nice open field tackle by DeRicky Wright, who's been everywhere.
He's certainly been all over Morgan.
Timeout.
DeRicky Wright, that's 6'4".
3rd timeout of the game.
220 pounds coming downhill. That's a guy he's almost linebacker size. They've deployed him like a linebacker before. You see both these offenses, the defense is stepping up a little bit, creating negative yardage plays, get them behind in the chains. 3rd and 10 plus on the minus side of the field. You see what Hawaii's trying to get the ball out of the hands of Shager quickly. And instead, the defense able to step up.
Coming up at halftime, you can watch the live performance of the Spirit of Gold on SEC Network Plus. You can start streaming now on the ESPN app. There they are, getting ready to come perform on the field. I realize it'll be challenging with the construction this year and maybe into parts of next year, but this is a great sign for Vanderbilt football to see what all is going to be done to this stadium and to their brand new facilities that I know all black and gold fans are going to be proud of. They want their Vanderbilt defense to get off the field here on a 3rd and 11. Shager now goes down. Nate Clifton gets home.
So another one of those formations. Look, you got 3 defensive line types to one side of the formation. Then you got these 2 guys kind of stand up. Watch, one buzzes out. You end up only rushing 4. Work a twist a little bit. They've got multiple looks in their pass rush. And they are constantly exchanging responsibilities in their rush lanes, trying to confuse the protection. And when they've gotten home, it's been very successful in influencing Shager. That time Shager probably wisely eats the football.
Hawaii, their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
It's pretty rare to see both teams burn all of their timeouts in the first half, but that's what's happened here tonight. Hey, remember last night? Southern Steak and Oyster.
Yeah, buddy.
Boy, we had a blast. Great oysters down there in the Gulch area near Music Row. That's my peppercorn strip steak there. That was delicious. I devoured that.
Yeah.
What is that right there?
This is apparently our producer thinks that's basically a salad. I was going to eat kind of light, and so he sucked down some fish and grits with gravy. It's like eating concrete.
Look at Alyssa's meal.
Yeah, and she crushed it. I helped with the mac and cheese a little bit. It's a team effort, man.
The place is fabulous as we go to a different eatery each Friday night when we're out on the road. Southern Steak and Oyster, our week 0 spot. And there's movement on the Hawaii line as they're trying to punt.
Another procedure penalty and kind of a late shift by Vanderbilt up front. Got that shank punt that set up the first score of the game on a short field, basically a 0-yard punt.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 23, offense. 5-yard penalty, main 4th down.
There's 11 combined penalties here in the first half.
With time on the clock, an opportunity to get halfway decent field position here and one more possession here in the first half.
Australian-style kick by Shepard, and a fair catch made just off of the 30-yard line by the other Mr. Shepard. So A.J. Swan will come back onto the field. It was great on the first 2 drives. You had the 2 touchdowns, and you had the kick return for a touchdown, but the last 2 drives, not so much. Didn't expect that, though. A little inconsistent performance in week 0.
But you look at the way he's been able to complete his passes. Both these quarterbacks, they started out pretty well. Now Swan with an incompletion, his only incompletion of the game. The first play of this entire game, trying to get it in there to Will Shepard.
And this one's an incompletion that ends 10 in a row. He was looking for Quincy Skinner, but Skinner was all covered up by Verdell Edwards.
He's almost lucky that that ball was behind him. Edwards looked like he was underneath it. Ran the route almost better than Skinner.
Swan almost does run right into traffic, and down he goes. Andrew Choi.
There's nowhere to go with the ball downfield right there. Good coverage. They only brought 4. A sack dance from Choi.
And Clark Lee says, let's go to the house and take this 21-14 lead with us. They do receive the second half kick. They expected a competitive 60-minute fight against a significantly improved Hawaii team, and that's exactly what they've gotten for the first 30 minutes. Jaden McGowan with the kick return for a touchdown. 2 other touchdown throws by both quarterbacks. And a 21-14 lead and some jawing as both teams go their opposite ways. Week 0 starts in Nashville, Tennessee with a good one so far. Vandy 21, Hawaii 14. To the studio we go in just a moment with Dari Noka and Roman Harper.
TZ, Stinch, Langer, great stuff.
SEC Saturday Night Football presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet from Nashville, Tennessee, where the Vanderbilt Commodores lead Hawaii 21-14 as we get ready for the third quarter. You see the stats from the first half. Stinch, both teams able to throw the football with great efficiency, but unable to run the football.
Yeah, it's been really quiet in the ground game for both football teams, and it really started out kind of slow for Hawaii offensively. Gave Vanderbilt a short field. Patrick Smith able to find the end zone early to open up the scoring, but the Warriors able to march down the football field, stab one in there to Steve McBride, the big transfer from Kansas. But then Jaden McGowan takes the ensuing kickoff back for a touchdown, showing some of that world-class speed that he has. Then Vandy was able to continue, move the football down running it, and they're able to get it to Will Shepherd. But on a 4th and 4, they're still able to get not only a conversion, but a touchdown to McBride again. But then undone. What looked like it was going to be a touchdown, a forced fumble by DeRicky Wright, and then a pick by DeRicky Wright. And sandwiched in there was a procedure penalty. Otherwise, we'd be looking at a tie ball game right now.
Instead, Vandy has a 7-point lead. And Hawaii's kicking to the dangerous Jaden McGowan. Will Ben Falk kick it towards number 6? Yes, he will. And he'll call for the fair catch. So that means Vandy's going to get it at the 25-yard line. So we knew that Vandy would be an improved team in 2023. Problem for them is so is Hawaii.
Yeah, there's no question about that. You can see the comfort level that they've been able to establish offensively. And with some new faces out wide, we mentioned McBride. Guy just joined that football team, transferring in from Kansas. He's figured prominently here in the first half. If they can keep Shager pretty clean in that pocket, there's a real chance they'll be able to continue some of that success here in the second.
And it's Patrick Smith in the backfield as Swan throws, and it's complete to Will Shepherd, and Shepherd gets it down to the 32-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and short, to pick up of 7. Down to Alyssa.
Guys, I caught up with head coach Clark Lee coming out of the tunnel. I asked him what the emphasis was to his team at the half. He said, well, we were in the similar position a year ago. It was a close game, a 1-score game, but this Hawaii team isn't going away. Just like they believe they're different, so is the team on the other side. He said the second quarter has to get cleaned up. Uncharacteristic penalties. We got away from the identity that we've worked so hard to become. I said, is that a settled down situation? He said, we've got to bring the energy that we need to each specific.
And nowhere to go on this play from Smith as he's tackled by Logan Taylor back at the 29-yard line. It's a loss of 2 on the play.
The Hawaii defensive front has really begun to assert itself. We saw a couple of times on blitzes right up the middle, able to win, and they're able to just beat the tackle of Julian Hernandez, the block rather of Julian Hernandez. Able to get right upfield quickly, diffuse what could have been a promising run.
So now instead of 3rd and short, it's 3rd and 6. And Swan gets it out to Shepherd, but he can't make the catch. Good coverage by Cam Stone.
An uncharacteristic drop by Will Shepherd. He's got to come up with this one. He knows it. Hits him right in the hands. Bounces right off of him. Cam Stone was there perhaps to make the tackle. That was first down yardage. That's a conversion almost every time on what is one of the better receivers, especially on contested throws. You don't see that very often out of Will Shepherd.
So now 4th and 6, just one punt tonight, 48 yards for Matthew Hayball. Here's his second attempt. He was one of the best in the country last year, and you can see why.
Wow.
And that takes a Vandy bounce and stays out of the end zone, but no, a foot went in.
Kane Patterson got down there.
That is a 71-yard punt. Hayball wishes it was 70.
Check that, Langston Patterson. There for a second, I thought perhaps it made contact. Watch Patterson. Wow.
It goes through the legs of Stone a couple of times.
Really dangerous play by Stone. You got to get out of there. Easily. Look at that. He had to duck that ball. Then Rinaldi comes sliding in.
Well, it brings Shager back on the field on first down. And the catch made by Hines out near the Vandy bench, and he'll get a couple. Shager was terrific in the first half, 15 of 17 passing, 196 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now running this Timmy Chank trademark run and shoot offense.
Yeah, really, the lone regrettable throw was the one where he kind of double clutched, resulted in an interception, trying to get it in there to Grayson Morgan in the end zone.
3-yard pickup for Hines, who's been quiet in the running game. Shager tries the other side, completes it back to the middle of the field up to the 27 goes McBride, who had such a big first half. That's his 6th catch of the night. He's approaching 100 yards. He has 2 touchdown catches.
You see Vanderbilt now changing it up a little bit. They brought a lot of pressure in the first half. Now the first 2 downs here in the second. Content to only bring 3 and play coverage with 8.
They've been great on third down. Hawaii's 0 for 4. Here comes the pressure, and down goes Shager. C.J. Taylor. He had a fumble recovery for a touchdown in this game last year, and one of the best safeties in the SEC, the anchor position, showing off to force 4th.
So you're going to just kind of work a 3-man game right here. Taylor does a great job. A little bit of confusion you could see in the protection, and Taylor, not a big guy, but all it takes is a little bit of hesitancy.
Shipley punts, and it's taken by Shepherd, gets the corner, and gets into Hawaii territory.
The special teams has been big in this game for Vanderbilt.
A 97-yard kick return for Jaden McGowan, a 28-yard punt return for his buddy Will Shepherd. Vanderbilt leads by a touchdown, and their all-SEC receiver gives them great field position with the ball. This season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, All-State will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. As always, thank you, All-State. A.J. Swann's been struggling on these last 4 drives, a couple of punts. Clock ended near halftime and a turnover on downs. And Patrick Cheeks Smith goes down near the 30-yard line. His nickname is Cheeks, as Coach Lee told us yesterday, is because he had big fat baby cheeks when he was little, and the name just stuck, and he still goes by that.
Yeah, the cheeks are gone. He swapped them out for biceps. That dude's jacked.
Andrew Choi looks like he might be cramping.
I've been wondering when this was going to show up in this game. You know, it's a long delay. You had to know that both teams were hydrating in earnest. And then you get that weird delay. You know, you try to kind of build it to where right at kickoff, you're all primed and ready to go. And then you get that extended delay. It's been really hot. It's hard to stay on top of that hydration.
And certainly when you go from practice to game 1, that seems like the hardest transition, especially in these days. You used to, used to be able to replicate what a game was like so many more times, and you're able to have a couple of practices per day. As years have gone on for safety purposes, a lot of that's been taken out. But you don't get to hit each other nearly as much. You get to this in week one, and it's a big transition.
And the intensity, you cannot replicate it. Even in the most intense of practices, it's just not the same as a game. It always matters more. You always push harder when the scoreboard's lit up.
Hey, Alyssa, remember a few hours ago when you said the humidity was gone?
Yeah, well, it was gone, and now it's back, obviously. And this was something I actually talked to some of the Hawaii players about earlier this week. I asked them about the time change and how that might affect things. They said, well, we're staying on Hawaii time. That's been very well thought out, but it's the humidity that actually is a little bit more concerning. If you've ever been there, you know that it's not very humid, certainly not as much as it is here. So this high humidity level is something that could be new to some of these guys.
And it's a good point, and that Hawaiian time is 5:15 in the afternoon right now. They had a 2 a.m. curfew, as Alyssa told you earlier, because that's 9 p.m. back home. And on the defensive side of the ball here on a 2nd and 2, as Vandy will snap it at their opponent's 30, and Shepard makes this catch, and he gets inside the 15, first down.
True RPO that time. A great job is just stabbing in there to Shepard. Easy access again. You see they're just running that heavy look, divide zone. It's a big zone run scheme concept. The whole offensive line blocks one direction. Sometimes they'll send a blocker to seal up that backside. Instead, you just pull it, stab one in there to your receiver on the edge for an easy pickup.
4 catches for 45 yards tonight. All SEC. Louisianan Will Shepard on a little sweep with the tight end. It's Logan Kyle to the edge and just short.
Well, Logan Kyle showing some wheels. You don't see that all the time.
Yeah, you see Brock Bowers at Georgia do this. Now you're seeing Vandy do it too.
And he got the edge, there's no doubt. Tufunga almost got him. And then it looks as if number 17 for Hawaii, Tufunga, had to leave the field with a cramp. He reached down grabbing his calf.
And he's been their best defensive player so far.
Working on him on the sideline. That's a big void on a goal line snap.
Swan gets rid of it, throws, touchdown. Will Shepard back in the end zone again, his 2nd tonight. There's a flag down on the field.
The rule on the field is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike, number 17 of the offense. That 15-yard penalty to be assessed on the kickoff. That is number 17's first unsportsmanlike conduct of the game.
Marion Carter.
Correction, number 14.
Okay, that's Will Shepard actually, not Carter. So after Will made the touchdown catch, they get him for celebration. Jacob Borchilla making his Vanderbilt debut. He's been in an off-season battle with Brock Taylor to be the kicker for Vanderbilt. We could see Taylor at some point early in the season as well, but it's Borchilla that makes the extra point. 28-14 Vandy.
Well, we talked about maybe they run it right here. That's what Hawaii expected, that's for sure. Instead, you loft it in there to Will Shepard, and the big man comes down for 6.
Clark Lee in the 3rd year as the head coach at Vanderbilt. 2 wins in year 1, 5 in year 2. Expecting his team to take the next step. Certainly have a chance at that in year number 3. Lee has been pleading with everybody in this community to support this program, that he's going to give you a better product on it. And the response has been his administration buying into what he's doing With all this construction work around the perimeter of the field, it's proof that there is commitment here to Vanderbilt football. Candace Lee Story, also an alum. He has been effusive in his praise towards her and all that she's done to believe in this program. And the hard hats that are worn in both end zones Sunday through Friday are examples of that. This is going to be a beautiful facility for years to come. It's a short kick, and Stone will field it at the 17-yard line. Of course, it's a personal foul penalty on Shepard. But good coverage there by Vanderbilt, and Stone will get the ball at the 27. Let's check out the good hands play, Stinch, brought to you by Allstate.
Well, we've seen some excellent plays in this football game, but the one that was perhaps the most important was to Ricky Wright in coverage. He had forced a fumble 2 plays earlier, and then able to deny a would-be touchdown throw by Shager. And we just knew. I mean, you're watching that play unfold. You're thinking, all right, it's a touchdown. They say he's short of the end zone. Thanks to Ricky Wright's efforts, he's able to turn the Rainbow Warriors away with 0 points.
Sims gets out of there. First big run of the night for Hawaii, and Sims is near midfield to the 49-yard line where Martell Height trips him up.
Vandy is committing their linebackers to the line of scrimmage right now. Great job by Sims. He just sees it. Almost hit that ball straight downhill.
Tylen Hines only has 9 yards rushing in the game. Sims just got 22 on that carry. You see his father, Travis, one of the best rushers in Hawaiian football history. His family hails from Gig Harbor, Washington. And Landon's got no place to go here. He's going to lose a yard. Langston Patterson. Remember this guy. This is Kane's little brother, a local product from Christ Presbyterian Academy here in Nashville. And the coaching staff has raved about this young man and what he's done leading up to his sophomore season.
Yeah, they talk about he plays with an edge. Through the echo of the whistle, kind of gets folks fired up even at practice because he is going full speed all the time. That time he and C.J. Taylor both found their way into the backfield.
2nd and 11. 3rd straight play at Sims, looking for something, maybe a yard. And it'll be 3rd and long as the Patterson brothers are in there again, Kane and Langston.
You get a little chippy in there at the end of that one. You get those scrums and a late push. And all game long, 3rd downs have been a distinct challenge. Hawaii struggling to find success there. Vanderbilt has almost consistently done a great job of creating pressure and getting to the passer.
Shager gets hit as he throws down the field. Incomplete. No flag. McBride was bottled up by B.J. Anderson.
Benny brings the pressure. It brings 6. Protection holds up just long enough for Shager to unload. Rinaldi plants him. And Anderson, that ball, if it's a 1 yard outside, just a little bit more, Anderson did a great job of timing it. A huge denial, and they say, forget it. We're going for it on 4th down right here at midfield.
Remember, they threw a 45-yard touchdown pass to McBride the last time they stayed on the field on 4th down. Shager throws, 1st down again, down inside the 35 to Alex Perry.
But Shager just had to do a great job of sliding in the pocket. Watch him work to his left, just to buy enough time. Sliding to your left and spitting this ball out to his right. Great job of just sitting down right there in the middle by Alex Perry for the 1st down yardage. That's twice now they've been able to convert on 4th down.
0 of 6 on 3rd down, 2 of 2 for 61 yards and a touchdown on 4th down. Shagers look good tonight for the Hawaiian legend Timmy Chang. Sims, after that big 22-yard pickup, has got nothing on 3 straight plays. C.J. Taylor says no, sir.
Seen a lot more run carries, obviously, in this possession. That's the 8th tackle for loss for Vanderbilt. Other than Sims kind of squeaking through there on the inside run earlier, has not been a whole lot of run element to this offense tonight. They have not been able to get Tylan Hines going.
Chang is still the college football record holder for total plays and attempted passes in this same offense that he's now calling the plays for to Shager. 2nd 11, good ball, nice turn and move by Perry down to the 25-yard line. And it's enough to move the chains.
Yeah, the great second effort by Perry. Takes a big shot from Martell Height. That's twice now for the true freshman. Just doesn't wrap up. Get the completion. You're right there to make the play. You bounce off the tackle, as does C.J. Taylor, and he was actually just shy of the yardage needed.
Yeah, it looked like the chain game was going to move, but they held their position, so it's now 3rd and 1. As Hawaii tries to convert for the first time on 3rd down tonight. And again, a timeout for Hawaii.
Yeah, a little confusion that time. Looked like Grayson Morgan and Vaipulu couldn't quite figure out what side of the line they need to be on.
First time out of the half. 30-second timeout.
See Coach Chang a little bit frustrated. Didn't want to have to use that timeout right there. Moving the football well. You hit it earlier, Taylor. You know, 3rd down has been a nightmare. But twice now, they found ways to push the ball downfield on 4th downs and get key conversions. As you mentioned, no better version of a 4th down conversion than a touchdown, as they did to Steve McBride in the first half. A couple of great efforts by Alex Perry to even get them to this 3rd and short. And you know it's 4-down territory most likely. They got a great kicker. But they've been very aggressive in this football game.
Landon Sims stands next to Shager on this 3rd and 1. Just over 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. And it's Sims, and it's a 1st down and more inside the 20. Landon Sims off the carry. He was expected to be the change of pace back tonight, but Hines has struggled to get something established, so it's Sims' turn.
Well, he did a great job. He had Nate Clifton had an opportunity to make the tackle right at the line of scrimmage, and Sims running physically. Clifton just bounced right off of him. A really patient runner, demonstrating nice approach to that line of scrimmage, allows the blocks to develop.
From the 18, Shager, plenty of time, runs out of there. Hadn't seen him do much of this tonight. And he gets out of bounds before getting licked by Kane Patterson.
Not a big runner. You know, not a guy that's going to threaten you a lot with his legs. He's quick to make the decision that time, opportunistic to try to pick up some positive yards. We hadn't seen a ton of tempo out of Hawaii. Didn't expect a lot of it. But you can see, you know, it's a pretty deliberate pace. You see the quarterback over there literally at the sideline often.
You got to think week 0, the temperature, the humidity, that has something to do with it. Remember, Hawaii's playing 13 games again. They played 13 games in 14 weeks. The play clock's down to 2, and Timmy's got to call another timeout.
You know, part of it was, you know, he was over there. They were putting the play call in after Shager ran that way. There's only 18 seconds when he returned to the field.
2nd and 8 when we come back. Thursday night at 8 Eastern, Eli Drinkwitz and the Mizzou Tigers host South Dakota at Faroe Field in Como. Brady Cook, is he the quarterback leading the Tiger offense? Plus, they have that stifling D that most of the guys on defense are back for. Coverage begins with SEC Nation at 7 Eastern, and the game is at 8. Hawaii, 2nd and 8, deep in Vanderbilt territory, down 2 touchdowns. Shager hands it off to Sims, who's been great on this drive, had a big 22-yard run earlier. He gets inside the 14 where Aeneas to Cosmo and C.J. Taylor converged. It's 11th play of the drive here for Shager in this Hawaii offense.
You don't see that very often. They run a counter O in the run game. A lot of zone concepts that time, giving Vanderbilt a look at a play that they've run often. 7 runs on this drive, only 3 passes. They're kind of going against trend for what you would expect out of this offense.
They haven't been able to throw it successfully on 3rd down tonight. Shager has the ball batted down. C.J. Taylor is everywhere.
Taylor, I was expecting to actually see quite a few more batted balls with the length that Vanderbilt has. And C.J. Taylor, he's only 6'1", but repeatedly he's found a way to get on an edge of the block. And now 8 tackles for C.J. Taylor. And
what do you think of this? You're down 14, still the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, you've moved the football. I don't know that it's necessary here, especially the way that you've been able to move it. Albeit they did require a 4th down conversion earlier in this drive. And 2 for 2.
And the play clock's going to expire right as they get it off. Shager steps up, throws, incomplete. Jonah Pinoque was back there Nick Senecal was in the back corner of the end zone. Got his fingertips on it, but couldn't bring it to his body as he was being tackled. And it's a turnover on downs.
Once again, Shager having to move off his spot. Running under duress. Senecal had a shot at it. And to Ricky Wright, all 6'4" of them, able to deny that attempt. Get the ball back for his offense. And another empty red zone possession for the Warrior offense.
Here's Vanderbilt starting this possession from their own 13. Swan over the top to Skinner, incomplete. Tried the touch throw, but right there in the coverage was JoJo Forrest.
We talk about the way this defense is played for Vanderbilt tonight. So that time, you give up an explosive run. Once again, your opponent's offense able to penetrate the red zone, and again, able to find a way to escape from ceding any points.
Play clock down to 3. Swan, oh, that was telegraphed. Could have been a pick 6 there for Caleb Brown.
He was looking for Skinner all the way. What a great job by Brown. Jumps this route.
Junior from Anniston, Alabama, was thinking about the end zone before he got the football. 3rd and 10.
That was a predetermined throw from A.J. Swan.
Swan steps out of the trouble. And right at the line of scrimmage, over the top, complete. Gamarion Carter. But was Swan across the line of scrimmage?
Illegal forward pass, number 5 of the offense, is beyond the line of scrimmage to include the pass. 5 yards from the spot of the foul, replay, 3rd down.
The line of scrimmage is the 13, Stench.
Loss of them.
All you have to have, let's see, it's a much better look at it here. It's close. All you have to have is any part of your body behind that line of scrimmage as the ball's released. He just narrowly was past it.
The previous play of the quarterback passing beyond line of scrimmage is under further review.
And it looked like his foot was right on that line of scrimmage. You're right, you know, as he's releasing the football part of his body was passed, but like you said, just any part needs to be behind.
Yeah, all it takes is any part of your body behind the line of scrimmage as the ball's released. That second look at it that we had the last time is probably the best.
Yeah, here's the look. You know, it's
when's it released?
Exactly.
Wow. And that's really close. And it's not like you don't have to have contact with the ground, incidentally. So even if his left shoulder were to be behind the line of scrimmage.
The key question is that enough evidence to overturn the call?
Right. A heck of a play to even find Carter all the way back. Dangerous throw. That ball hung up in the air.
Still taking a look. Vandy up 28-14 here near the end of the third quarter. If you're just flipping on the game, you've been out on a Saturday night, you may be wondering, how in the world is this game still going on? Well, it didn't start until after 8 o'clock local time. We had more than a 90-minute delay due to thunderstorms in the area. Some good passing statistics from both teams tonight. Bunch of penalties.
After review, the quarterback's body was not completely beyond the line of scrimmage when the pass was thrown.
How about that?
It really is a completed pass at the 46-yard line. First down, Vanderbilt. The clock will start on my record.
Well, your initial reaction when you hesitated as you saw that replay, I think said it all, because you certainly could argue exactly what the referee just said.
I actually think, you know, when he had to rotate to throw that ball back to the middle of the field, it's his left shoulder, his non-throwing shoulder, that was behind that line of scrimmage.
So it's a 41-yard completion to Gamarion Carter, who showed some flashes last year, expected to be maybe that third receiver in the lineup this year. True freshman Cedric Alexander's in the backfield. They do a little trickeration, a couple of flips. Ends up into the hand of London Humphreys, and the true freshman gets dinged down at the 41-yard line. It's another Christ Presbyterian Academy local product. He's one of the top high school prospects from this state.
That drew some oohs and ahs from the crowd. That second flip, nobody saw coming. Narrowly escaped a huge negative yardage play there.
He was the first. You always, going into the season, ask the head coaches who's a newcomer to watch. He was the first one that Clark Lee referenced. Swan, low snap, and throws it over Carter's head. Now third down. Wyndon Hoahuli was in the backfield, applying the pressure there. Saturday night in Tuscaloosa, who will play quarterback for the Crimson Tide as they play the Blue Raiders?
Another SEC team. We're sitting here going, hey, who's going to be your quarterback? Talking about Missouri tonight. Same would be true for Alabama, who a lot of folks on the game day desk think we're going to win this conference.
Yeah, all of them. Chase Gillespie in the game, and on a slant pattern, Swan finds McGowan, and that's enough to move the chains.
Nice timing throw that time. Well placed, put it right on his hip.
And how about the fact that Joey Lynch continues to go to the passing game to move the chains time after time, not go with the traditional run the football play with Smith or Gillespie or Alexander. And again throwing. Swan looking down for Carter. Good coverage by Forrest. It's second down.
That's a couple of times where Swan's missed an opportunity to go to McGowan. McGowan was lined up in the slot. He was all by himself right up the hash. He already decided. So watch McGowan. He's going to put his hand up. See him right there on the SEC logo? This is him saying, hey, hit me. The safety's already breaking over here. Swan missed him. Same was true on the near pick. You think about how this series could have gone earlier on in this possession. Could have been a pick six going the other way.
Alexander, just a couple of carries for the true freshman, and he gets down to the 32. Could be the last play. We'll see if, yeah, in fact, Vanderbilt will allow this clock to run out and carry a 28-14 lead into the fourth quarter with the football in Hawaii territory. Swan 15 of 22 passing, 182 yards. Jaden McGowan a kick return for a touchdown. Clark Lee's got to be happy. He'll talk to Alyssa as we start the fourth quarter in just a moment.
Back here in Nashville, joined by Vanderbilt head coach Clark Lee. Coach, we just saw your quarterback run right, throw across his body left for a huge first down. What have you seen from AJ tonight?
There's been some good moments. I mean, I think when we've been in rhythm on offense, he's gotten the ball out to our playmakers' hands. Obviously, that's one he created. I want him to do less of that and more on time and rhythm, but he can do that. We appreciate that about him.
What has to happen to close out this last quarter?
We need to find a way to score here, and I think defensively we've settled in and made a couple of nice stops, but obviously, you know, they're not going to make it easy on us. So this possession finishing the right way will be huge. From there, it's just one snap at a time.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Great perspective there from both coaches tonight, from Timmy Chang and from Clark Lee, in these new in-game interviews we're doing. And there's no doubt that Clark Lee's right about his quarterback, A.J. Swan. And on this down particularly, he's been terrific tonight. You see his overall numbers. But on third downs tonight, Stinch, 6 for 7 passing, 118 yards, and 4 first downs. Vandy wanted to throw the ball more this year and have more success with it, and they certainly have done that. Here's a 3rd and 7. 4 receivers in the pattern, throwing the deep ball to his tight end over the head of Logan Kyle. It'll be 4th down, but this could be 4-down territory.
A new kicker, obviously, and they're definitely leaving that offense out on the field. Good coverage that time by Hawaii. JoJo Forrest underneath that ball. Actually lucky really that ball was overthrown. He easily could have been a turnover.
Yeah, Clark said he wanted to get inside the 30 to kick a field goal tonight, and they're at the 33, and we could have a free play for Vandy. And a free play's a touchdown as it's caught by London Humphreys. Hawaii was in the neutral zone. Free play, and Swan finds the true freshman for his first touchdown catch.
It's a touchdown.
32-yard touchdown catch for the man from right here in Nashville. And Isaiah Tufunga is still down on the ground for Hawaii.
Now, Hawaii bluffed that pressure right in the middle. That's what caused this to be a free play. And JoJo Forrest, who was in great coverage, see right there in the middle, perfect timing. Forrest just tried to jam Landon Humphreys, and said Humphreys was able to get off relatively cleanly. Great looking ball from A.J. Swan. Drops it right in the bucket. Clark Lee was over there talking to Alyssa, what, one play ago? Hey, we need to score right here. And a snap later, they're in the end zone.
Tufunga, of course, was that player that was offside, and then his leg gave out and cramped. And Borchilla makes it 35-14. With 14:48 to go in the third quarter, Commodores trying to get off to a 1-0 start.
Timeout on the field.
And College Game Day comes to you from Music City with the doors of the country's number 19 with a bullet.
We're 4-0 in football, and we're 4-0 in grade point average.
15 years ago, Bobby Johnson's 19th ranked Vanderbilt Commodores hosted College Game Day before their primetime matchup with number 13 Auburn. Despite being an underdog and Coach Corso's headgear pump fake, Vandy beat the Tigers 14-13 for their first 5-0 start since 1943. The Doors would finish 7-6, ending a streak of 25 straight losing seasons, and it was their first bowl appearance since 1982. Of course, James Franklin came in and had some 9-win seasons after that. Our guy, Derek Mason, took the Commodores to a couple of bowl games, but Clark Lee is trying to rebuild that culture that Bobby Johnson sort of established when he was the head coach 15 years ago.
Hey, his coach, right? You know, Clark Lee would know it. He talks about Bobby Johnson quite a bit of what it took to build the program to that level. I mean, James Franklin, when he got here, he won a lot of games. He won it with a bunch of players that Bobby Johnson brought into this program and that redshirted and had a lot of college football under their belt.
Tylen Harris has done virtually nothing tonight. Tylen Hines, excuse me, just 7 carries on the night and only has 9 yards. There is an offensive lineman that is still down for Hawaii. That is Maurice Ta'ala. Big junior.
And it looked like he got rolled up a little bit. This happens, especially in a big scrum. There's big Linus Zunk, and see, just getting rolled up from behind. Right leg's just pinned underneath Ethan Barr and Linus Zunk. It's about 500 pounds of Commodores laying on your leg. Not a great feeling. Good to see him roll over on his back. That's always concerning. You see guys that just aren't moving much. They're working. You can see it on that right ankle.
You just think about the sacrifice that these guys have to make to play FBS football. Talking about the University of Hawaii, they traveled more miles to play this game than Vanderbilt will travel all year. We're back in just a moment.
People are excited about what AI will do for them. We're excited about what AI will do for business. Introducing Watson X, a platform designed to multiply output by tailoring AI to your needs. When you Watson X your business, you can build AI to help coders code faster.
On the night, and only has 9 yards. There is an offensive lineman that is still down for Hawaii. That is Maurice Ta'ala. Big junior.
And it looked like he got rolled up a little bit. This happens, especially in a big scrum. There's big Linus Zunk, and see, just getting rolled up from behind. Right leg's just pinned underneath Ethan Barr and Linus Zunk. It's about 500 pounds of Commodores laying on your leg. Not a great feeling. Good to see him roll over on his back. That's always concerning. You see guys that just aren't moving much. They're working. You can see it on that right ankle.
You just think about the sacrifice that these guys have to make to play FBS football. Talking about the University of Hawaii, they traveled more miles to play this game than Vanderbilt will travel all year. We're back in just a moment. We're telling you right before the break about all of the travel that Hawaii has to do throughout the year. Look at the 6 road games, how many miles in the air they have to travel, and this is the furthest trip of the year to Nashville, Tennessee. On top of that, they play 13 games in 14 weeks. Got to pay for all that jet fuel, so they play an extra game.
Man.
And they play Stanford back in Oahu next Friday night.
Yeah.
So they have this late kick here on a Saturday night. They got to get back home to play the Cardinal next Friday.
That really is rough. And when you talk about some of the travel that some of conference realignment's going to cause, and folks at Hawaii are like, that's standard. We do that all the time. All our sports. It's 5 hours away no matter what we do.
There is a Hawaii fan in the stands that has a T-shirt that says, "Where's our Pac-12 invite?" Pofele Ashlock makes the catch.
CJ
just
Taylor.
Short of the first down.
Sorry, CJ Taylor gets up. I think he's cramping.
Here's our guy.
Yeah.
Hey, Pac-12, we're still waiting on that invite.
He's got a good point. Seems like there's a few openings out there.
There are stunning things that happen in sports all the time. Just how quickly that conference turned into a 4-member league in relatively 48 hours or so. It's amazing.
Just amazing. Yeah, never a dull moment, that's for sure. Stuff happening all the time. And there's not a team on the planet that's more Pac than Hawaii. When you think about it, geographically speaking, which we've ditched that long ago when it comes to conferences. You see CJ Taylor. It looked like it was kind of a wild tackle.
He did have a soft tissue injury that prevented him from playing in the scrimmages in August, but he's looked at full speed before this injury tonight. He's played a terrific game. So Oklahoma and Texas are coming in next year to the Southeastern Conference. They'll be great additions, fit right into the culture. Oregon, UCLA, USC, and Washington are going to play a bunch of Midwestern teams in the Big Ten.
And a couple of East Coast teams.
True. Maryland.
Rutgers. Makes total sense.
On a 3rd and 1, Shager's going to throw the deep ball. He's got a one-on-one battle, and it's caught.
Wow.
What a catch by Ashlock.
Back-to-back plays. Shots to Ashlock. Working against Jalen Mahoney. Mahoney tried to split his hands, and Ashlock, what a beautiful ball from Shager.
It's 35 yards for Ashlock, the freshman from Texas. And now Shager will try the other side. Incomplete at the last minute. Tyson Russell got his hand in there, but there's a flag down. Stephen McBride, once again, the intended target.
Yeah, and Russell had a handful of McBride's jersey. You see it. See that? Look at that. That's an easy call for the official.
Pass interference, number 8, defense. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
And this is where, look, it beats a touchdown, right? So that's one of the few times where the penalty is actually a strategy. If you're going to do that and you need it for the advantage, you do it for 15 yards.
This game could be a tie game.
Yes.
If it weren't for Hawaii in the red zone. They're just 1 of 3 scoring points in the red zone tonight. It's a 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line, and Shager gets it out and caught by Cynical. And a nice play made by Russell to get that tackle right after the penalty.
Great job by Cynical hanging on to that throw, because Russell arrived right as the ball did. Cynical able to come up with it. And as you pointed out, Taylor, they've been able to get down there as Hawaii. They just have not been able to capitalize on these red zone possessions.
1 second and 5. Shager gets rid of it and throws into the Hawaii bench.
The quarterback was outside the pocket. The ball will be on line of scrimmage. 3rd down.
Hawaii last year was in a competitive game for 30 minutes against Vanderbilt and got dominated in the second half.
Another cramp.
42-0 Vanderbilt outscored Hawaii last year in the second half. And it's 14-0 Vanderbilt in the second half this year. So 56-0 Vanderbilt in the second halves of these games the last 2 years.
That's big Josh Atkins, the left tackle, who went down with a cramp.
Hey, just a reminder, Stench, what we've got coming up for you next week. Kentucky, Ball State, noon Eastern. Dave Neal, Derek Mason there on the Bluegrass. We'll be in Stark Vegas. The Zach Arnett era begins. So we pay tribute to the Pirate, Middle Tennessee and Alabama and T-Town with Tommy Jordan and Cole. And then these some other games you can catch on SEC Network Plus at their respective start times. The defending national champions on SEC Network Plus, ESPN Plus as well. Georgia, UT Martin, trying to win a third straight title has not been done in almost 80 years in college football since the Golden Gophers of Minnesota did.
Don't you know? Yeah, wow, that's for sure. A 6 o'clock kick for the Dogs. First night game they've had in a long time. Big third down. That's a massive understatement, to say the least. Got a new left tackle in the game.
And Luke Felix Fuulalo comes in for Josh Atkins. Shager's just 2 of 9 on third down tonight. This is a 3rd and 4. And they'll run it straight ahead. And Sims gets close. Aeneas to Cosmo tackled him.
And first down. Another physical run from Sims. Great job. Nice blocking up front. And it's that second effort. How about a little push there at the end? Make sure that they're able to get the conversion. Here in the second half, it's been Sims. He's played a pretty big role, especially in the ground game.
From the 6. Shager throws underneath. Caught by Morgan, and he gets down near the 4. Jalen Mahoney with another good tackle.
Good job by Mahoney, triggering upfield quickly. Make that tackle in space. You said it earlier, Taylor. You know, the Rainbow Warriors were more efficient down here. We've got a totally different ball game. If you get the pick 6 on that previous Vanderbilt offensive possession before the score, it's a different ball game. That's a 14-point swing.
Just inside the 4, and again, a timeout.
Timeout, Hawaii. Their third timeout of the half. 32nd and lead.
Braden Shager just told Timmy Chang, we had it. We knew what we were doing on that play, but Timmy wasn't so sure. Growing pains, of course, first week of the season, but Timmy loves this quarterback. He thinks that he's found his guy that can lead Hawaii back to bowl eligibility and competing at the top of the Mountain West. He knows that when you take a program over, you're going to take your lumps. Hawaii certainly did that last year with a 3-10 record, but he thinks in the next year or two this program could compete at the top of the Mountain West.
Well, you know, it makes sense. You know, it's kind of a return to form. When this program's been able to pile up wins and statistics, it's been with a similar offensive philosophy. Now, this is not a purist run and shoot by any stretch. However, there's that underpinning, that familiarity for sure at the head coach and as the play caller.
From just inside the 4. Shager throws underneath, grab made, spinning in the end zone, touchdown, Pofele Ashlock.
Well, that was Ashlock's series. He kicked it off early, caught the big ball downfield, and of course is able to spin his way into the end zone. 3 catches, 46 yards, and a touchdown.
The first score Hawaii's made in the second half this year after being shut out last year. And the extra point by Shipley is good. It's a 14-point game with 11:20 to go. Vanderbilt will get the ball back on offense, but it's the Rainbow Warriors spinning into the end zone, trying to stay in the fight in week 0.
SEC Saturday Night is presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet, connecting homes across the SEC.
A great night down on Broadway. Down on Music Row, the streets are filled up. Honky tonks. Here they have a good one. Vanderbilt leading Hawaii 35-21, just up on the west end. About a mile and a half from those great bars. Jaden McGowan, who's been outstanding tonight, takes the fair catch. You'll get it at the 25. He's our Saturday MVP. It's brought to you by Sport Clips. He had the 97-yard kick return for a touchdown. It's the first kick return a Vanderbilt Commodore has taken to the house in 9 years. 4 catches for 50 yards. He's also run the football as well. Watch out for this guy in the Southeastern Conference in 2023.
You better try to keep him in front of you, because once he's passed and shows you his taillights, he's gone. You're not going to run that guy down.
And whether it's him or someone else, I wonder if Joey Lynch, the offensive coordinator, and Clark Lee take the air out of the football with a 2-touchdown lead and 11+ minutes to go. But Vandy has only run for 47 yards tonight. That's a hand ahead to Junior Sherrill, the true freshman, touching the football for the first time, but Andrew Choi wasn't having any of it.
Great job there by Choi, turning that ball back in. Sherrill, you just got to keep stretching. You can't try to dip on that run. The blocking's not in there. As soon as you try to cut it up, you're toast. That's the 8th tackle for loss by the Rainbow Warrior defense tonight. Yet another negative yardage play to start a series. 2nd and 10+, not what you're looking for.
On 2nd and 14, there's a good ball. And past the chains to McGowan. First down.
We talked about trying to get the ball to him. As you see, yet another Hawaii defender.
Yeah, it looks like a cramp for Cam Stone.
It has been epidemic here in the second half. Multiple Hawaii defenders going down with cramps.
Go get some treatment on the bench. He's played a good game tonight. A transfer from Wyoming who was terrific against these Rainbow Warriors as a shutdown corner in the past. So brand new set of downs for Vanderbilt after McGowan moves the chains on a good ball by Swan. And now he's in the backfield with AJ, and maybe it's Jaden that has to help them run this clock out. He gets a couple. Replacing Ray Davis will be a challenge, especially early in the season. Ray had a great year for Vanderbilt running the football last year. He, of course, went on to Kentucky. Patrick Smith, Chase Gillespie, Cedric Alexander, and maybe even Jaden McGowan will be running the football for the Doors this year.
Well, it might be more perimeter runs because there has not been a ton of running room really all night long for Vanderbilt, and especially between the tackles. Both teams have struggled to get untracked in the ground game.
On a 2nd and 8, Swan back to the air, back to completing passes. This time it's Will Shepard spinning inside the Hawaii 40. 22 more.
And he's saying, take me out. He might be cramping a little bit at the end of that one. He spun and then somersaulted. Pretty athletic after the catch.
You know, Vandy's had some great receivers through the years, Stinch, and now Earl Bennett is the director of player development as he gets to watch the next era of great Vandy receivers, including Shepard and McGowan.
Good guy to have in your building, that's for sure.
It's been quiet for Patrick Smith tonight, and he loses his balance and is stopped at the line of scrimmage by Tufonga.
They're trying to just bounce that one outside. Nowhere to go on the inside. I've seen several players slip tonight. And it, of course, rained earlier, but that's some time ago. And the surface been a little bit tricky for some of the skill players.
Vanderbilt trying to get off to a good start in 2023, just like they did against Hawaii a year ago. And that play clock down to 3. Fake to Smith. Swan wants to throw, and he was not on the same page with Jaden McGowan there, who was covered up. 3rd down.
Yeah, Jaden McGowan was all the way out of bounds when Swan looked up to try to deliver that football. Verdell Edwards looked like they got a little bit tied up, and he ended up off the field completely with the ball in the air.
Swan 18 for 27, 252 yards and 3 touchdowns tonight. Swan underneath pass to McGowan, and McGowan's going to be tackled. They'll give him the 33-yard line. This will be 4th down, most likely 4-down territory.
Yeah, he was late to McGowan on that one. McGowan had come all the way across the formation. If he finds him earlier, hits him in stride, he's got a chance to turn it upfield. Instead, the ball stopped him. Well, Tufonga to make that play shy of the yardage needed. I think here in a 2-score game, and you pointed out earlier, Taylor, the Commodores milking that play clock all the way down, try to exhaust as much clock as they can on this possession.
Taking 4 minutes off the clock, trying to keep the drive alive to McGowan, incomplete. And it's a turnover on downs with 7:07 left. And Hawaii's very much still alive in this game.
No question. And miss an opportunity. I know you're trying to push it downfield and get a conversion. You check that down to Patrick Smith and give him a chance out of the backfield. Let your running back try to turn and run in space. Instead, forcing a ball downfield. This easily could have been picked. Wisely wasn't. Although it looked as if you're attempting to do so.
Verdell Edwards, yeah.
Not a good idea. You make that pick, falling down, and you're costing your team field position.
Braden Shager back on the field for the Rainbow Warriors. He's going to throw the deep ball behind the defense. Caught inside the 20. Ashlock again.
What a ball. This is a seed. Time, clean pocket. And Shager just uncorking in the last 2 possessions. And Ashlock just can't be denied. It's another huge catch.
50-yarder. Shager's over 300 yards tonight. Ashlock's over 100 receiving. And Shager goes to the sideline where it's caught by McBride. And they'll give him possession inside the 10.
Only the 2nd time Shager's gone over 300 yards. Kind of hard to imagine given the intent of this offense. But it's been in the last 2 possessions where the explosive playmaking has really emerged. This is what's plagued the Commodore defense, especially in their secondary.
Out of the ground. We hadn't called Tylen Hines' name much tonight. Just 8 carries for 10 yards for Hines on the ground, but it's been Shager through the air, setting career high marks in completions, yards, and touchdowns tonight.
The last time we saw him eclipse 300 was versus Utah State a season ago. He's just been hitting shots over top over and over.
26 completions for 335 yards and 3 touchdowns. And now 3rd and 3. Now remember, Hawaii is out of timeouts as the play clock goes down to 5. To the end zone. Again, Ashlock is the intended target, but good coverage by B.J. Anderson, and it's going to be 4th down. That was Alex Perry, excuse me, instead of Ashlock.
This ball had a chance. You see Anderson does not get his head around, but luckily he was able to get a piece of that ball. Perry just couldn't quite come up with it. Another go ball. And yet another, this is one of the most dangerous downs of the game for the Vanderbilt defense. They get to these 4th downs, and the Hawaii offense finds a way to get conversions.
4th and 3, game on the line. Hawaii trying to stay in it on a 4th and 3, and it's Ashlock making a move to the end zone. Touchdown.
Running on the field, it's completed catch for a touchdown.
Take a look and see if he's down before he gets in. DeRicky Wright is down. Looks like he's down right before that ball crosses the goal line. At least it looked to be on the previous. I don't know.
Yeah, that angle you can't see it, but the other one, it looked like his knee was down before he got in. And they are looking at it upstairs, and they'll let us know if they want to take a longer look.
The run on the field was a catch for a touchdown. That plays under further review.
And let's remember, we go back to the first half. It looked as if Hawaii was in the end zone. That was...
You're not getting a clear look from the pylon, so this is a...
Right. The knee's down there.
And it looks like the ball is short.
It does look like it is short. Just beyond his right knee that's up. A closer look at it from the pylon.
And remember, Ashlock recovered that touchdown earlier in the game that was overturned. And it, once again, is DeRicky Wright.
Yeah.
Keeping a Rainbow Warrior out of the end zone. If this call is overturned, it will be a 1st and goal, though, for Hawaii as Ashlock made that catch.
As it was on the previous possession in the same end zone. 1st and goal. The last time they ended up with a procedure penalty. Backed him up 5 yards. And then you get that shot into the end zone, and DeRicky Wright comes up with a pick. Number 2 has been clutch, really, for the Commodore defense and keeping the Hawaii offense out of the end zone. This might just be delaying an ultimate score.
After review, the runner was down before breaking the play of the goal. The ball be placed at the half-yard line, 1st and goal. The clock will start on my ready.
Almost the exact same scenario. Difference here from Hawaii's perspective is they're saying you got to play cleanly right here. Last time they went with an unbalanced line, brought in an extra offensive lineman.
And they've also brought in Dalen Morris as their Wildcat quarterback, and he is back on the field.
It's the same scenario, same formation, same personnel, everything, but they had a false start the last time they attempted this.
So Morris at the quarterback by Pulu next to him, low snap, Morris, touchdown. The Navy transfer gives the salute.
Morris gets the touchdown, but it was Ashlock once again that got the Hawaii offense down there. Watch his second effort. Stood up initially and just finds his way, pulls his way into the end zone. Now, Hawaii came to play. They said, look, we had to wait a long time, fly a long way. There's Ashlock and Morris celebrate.
This is his collegiate debut, Ashlock, over 100 yards receiving. He has had 2 touchdowns overturned tonight, but he's played one whale of a football game. The extra point by Shipley makes it a 7-point game with 4:49 to go. How about the backup center leading the way, Stench?
Ooh, nice block.
Ball game on the line in Nash Vegas. What a game from start until almost the finish. 4:49 left. Vanderbilt has the lead by 7. Hawaii getting ready to kick the ball to the Commodores. Hawaii has more total yards than Vandy does tonight. But a turnover early at their own 1-yard line certainly was a big factor. A couple of turnovers on downs as well. And Hawaii, with 4:49 to go and out of timeouts, at least is lining up to attempt an onside kick here. And it bounces off a Vanderbilt player. And will they give it to Cynical in bounds? They will. Now it's being overturned. Now the field judge and the back judge are going to go talk about this, because the back judge thinks that Cynical was out of bounds.
Yeah, it looked like that's Will Shepard. That's a couple of drops we've seen in this game. You see Cynical is definitely, it's right elbow.
On the field, the ball was touched by the receiving team and recovered by the kicking team, while the kicking team player was out of bounds. The ball will belong to Vanderbilt at the 49-yard line.
That's a huge break for Vanderbilt.
Incredible effort by Cynical. But like you said, that right elbow certainly looked like it was on the white.
Previous play is under further review.
So the ruling on the field was that he was out of bounds. It definitely looked as if.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
There we go.
First down.
It looked pretty definitive.
The quickest and most accurate review in SEC college football history.
There's been a lot of practice tonight, that's for sure. I mean, we've had quite a few reviews. Lines to gain, illegal forward passes. That's a big one.
So A.J. Swan back on the field. Vanderbilt just has 45 rushing yards in the game tonight. They give it to Gillespie, and they're going to have less than 45 at the end of this play, Alyssa.
Guys, I've been watching A.J. Swan on the sidelines before he went back out onto the field, and years ago, Clark Lee talked about having to change the mental approach of this team. A.J. Swan walked over to his offensive line, not hyped in any way, just cool, calm, and collected, hitting them each on the helmet, saying, let's go, boys, let's go out here, let's finish this thing. Even singing a little bit on the sidelines, really keeping it loose. He says he owes a lot of the development and leadership to the leadership classes that Clark Lee puts on Sundays, really trying to step up and be a leader of this offense right now.
Well, there's a 3-yard loss on that first play. The clock is running. Hawaii out of timeouts, and on the 2nd and 13, Swan has to go back to the air, and it's incomplete. But a flag comes in. This could be a hit on the quarterback.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 1, defense. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Manuma comes in right as he gets rid of the ball.
They're one of the better players for the Hawaii defense. I haven't called his name a lot tonight. A bonehead decision, to say the least. Right there, it's an easy call. You get a bad ball coming out, a chance to force a difficult third down. Instead, you gift a first down.
It was an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
The best case scenario for Timmy Chang goes to the worst case. Now 1st and 10, under 4 minutes to go. Gillespie, a yard or so.
Vanderbilt has desperately been trying to take the air out of the football, to run the ball. They just can't. They have not been able to get it going. Second level defenders, but the line of scrimmage has not been clean.
Clock was stopped momentarily, but they reset it. And the play clock running as well, and Vandy will let some more time run off both of those clocks that you see on the score bug before they snap this. Hawaii has used all of their timeouts in the first half and the second half tonight.
Early, too. I mean, it's got to be frustrating because you're sitting there thinking, even at one point in time, Shager felt as if they were prepared to run the play and instead got a timeout.
And Gillespie will get maybe another yard as Kemma gets in there to make the tackle, and it's under 3 minutes left.
Vanderbilt on the previous possession did a good job of running the clock as low as they possibly could. Could not convert on the 4th down. Part of the point limitation strategy that they have.
Do you go to the air here, Stinch? Because if you get a first down, the game basically is over. Could completely run the clock out at that point.
Definitely looks, based on alignment, that that's what they're thinking.
Trips to the bottom of your screen with one receiver up top, and it is thrown behind Gamarion Carter and almost picked off. It was Verdell Edwards had a chance at it, and so instead the clock is stopped on a 4th down.
Not sure this would have been successful anyway, the way Verdell Edwards played that football, but the ball's behind Gamarion Carter, and now you have a shot at it.
And what do you do here on a 4th and 8 from the Hawaii 37?
They're going for it versus trying to pin him, maybe punt it over in the coffin corner, and instead trying to get a conversion, maybe trying to get a cheap 5 yards and then run a play.
Or take a delayed game penalty. Yep. We'll see.
It looked like Swan wanted the football right as time expired.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
So Matthew Hayball, the Australian,
police put 2:24 on the game clock. 2:24
will come in to try to pin Hawaii deep. This game very much in doubt with 2:24 to go, especially given the success Hawaii has had on offense tonight. Hayball kicks it down there, and it goes into the end zone. A great effort by Vanderbilt, but instead it's a touchback, and Hawaii will get the ball at the 20 with 2:14 and no timeouts left. This has been an incredible start. Week 0. Next week it continues at noon Eastern with Kentucky hosting Ball State. Then we've got Southeast Louisiana at Mississippi State in Stark Vegas. And the SEC Saturday night game presented by T-Mobile 5G home internet is Alabama against Middle Tennessee. You can also watch all these games on ESPN Plus, SEC Network Plus, Ole Miss, Arkansas, Georgia, and Vandy, all hosting games there. Of course, you can find all those on the ESPN app. Here we go. 7-point lead for Vandy. Braden Shager back on offense, hands it to Hines on the first play, and he'll get near the 25, and the clock will continue to run.
I'm surprised to see them, obviously, I guess, trying to catch Vanderbilt on their heels, see if you can't pop a run to spark this drive. Eventually, the middle of the field will go away. No other way to stop the clock.
Shager drifts, back throws, picked off. Stepping in front is DeRicky Wright, his second pick of the night. And this one will give Vanderbilt the win. He had 3 interceptions last year, and Vanderbilt only had 6 as a team. He's got their first 2 of the year in 2023.
You see him right here just behind the referee. Watch DeRicky Wright. Reading the quarterback's eyes all the way, just falls underneath it. Pressure in Shager's face is what creates that decision. DeRicky Wright boy, has he been clutch in this game. You know, even the last time, when you end up scoring, it still costs more time to get in the end zone.
Braden Shager played an outstanding football game for Hawaii tonight, but he made 2 mistakes, and DeRicky Wright caught both of them.
Just a phenomenal effort from number 2. You think about the role that he had to play in keeping Hawaii out of the end zone. Pivotal. And this game easily could have broken the other way. We talk about the red zone possessions for the Rainbow Warriors. We talk about the missed pick 6 that ended up being a touchdown going the other way.
Well, sign me up for this, more of this in 2023.
Kidding.
This was fun.
It was worth the wait.
Just a reminder, Vanderbilt is going to host Alabama A&M next Saturday night at 7 here in Nashville. There's some key games. Gators on the road on Thursday against the Utah Utes. Tennessee and Virginia over at the Titans facility here in Nashville. South Carolina and North Carolina in the Queen City of Charlotte. LSU and Florida State in Orlando 8 days from now. Again, Vandy hosting Alabama A&M next Saturday night. They play at Wake, at Ole Miss, host Auburn this year. They do have 2 open weeks, Commodores do, but they play 8 in a row before they get to break. And this was a dogfight, holding on to beating Hawaii 35-28. Hawaii will host Stanford next Friday night, and 2 guys that have a ton of respect for each other meet at midfield.
It was definitely a battle. And you think about everything that went into this game, the buildup, the delay, and then a fantastic contest on the field.
Timmy Chang's Hawaii team will regroup and head back to the islands, where we're all thinking about them and about the relief effort, especially in Maui. 2 teams that played a whale of a football game tonight here in the beautiful city of Nashville. For Tom, for Johnny, for everybody in the production truck, we thank you so much. Alyssa Lang on the sidelines tonight. For my guy, Matt Stinchcomb, I'm Taylor Zarzer. Special thanks to Russ Moore and Kevin Maloney for all their work up here in the booth. We're going to Stark Vegas next Saturday. Are you ready for some SEC football? It continues Thursday night in Columbia, Missouri. Until then, so long.